Hello everyone, now we are going to solve the questions based on the torque method. In the question it is given that a disk of radius r and mass m is connected to two springs. So here the figure is given in the question. You can easily see that there is a disk here. So this is a disk of radius r and the mass m is connected to two springs. So and these two springs is connected and having same spring constant equal to k. If the disk is rolled without slipping, then the natural frequency of vibrations we have to calculate. See, you can solve this question either by energy method or torque method. And using both the methods, you can get the final answer. Which one is easy? It depends on types of questions. Sometimes it is easy to apply the energy method. Sometimes it is easy to apply the torque method. So how can we determine that which method is less time consuming? Actually, it depends on the number of questions that you have practiced. Then you will be able to understand that in the examinations, when you apply the energy method, you will get the answer as soon as possible. So basically, it depends on the number of questions. If you do the number of questions practiced, then it will be easy to understand that which method you can apply for the quick answer. So if you don't know which method is working, which method we have to apply, if you get confused in the examinations, then I will suggest you to apply the torque method. Because what is the quality in the torque method and what is the benefit in the torque method? Actually, the system, suppose this is a system diagram you can see here. If you write down the equations of the system, if you are able to write down the equations of vibration for any system which is given in the paper, then it would be easy to calculate the natural frequency or whatever is asking in the question. Just you have to write down the actual equations of vibration according to the system which is given in the question. So that's why it is easy to find out the natural frequency or anything else in the torque method. Because if you apply the energy method, I'm not saying that energy method is not good. You can apply some in some questions, okay, but if you apply the torque method, then it is you just have to write down the equations only for any system. Because once you write down the equations, there is in within 1 to 2 minutes you will get the answer if you write down the correct equation. So that's why torque method is easy to apply, but it needs more practice. Okay, otherwise you will make a wrong equations and you will get the wrong answer. So that's why you have to do a lot of practice for write down the correct equations of vibrations in any question. So here we are going to apply the torque method. So this is torque method. Now see here, we are considering torque method. That means we have to take torque about point of contact. I'm going to consider it C. Okay. So we just have to write down the torque equation that we have studied in the torque method. How can we write down the torque equations? Okay. So let us assume that this disc is going to be rolled with theta angle. Let us say this is the theta angle. Okay, this disc is rolled with angle theta in anti-clockwise direction. So what would be the inertial force load? That would be I theta double dot. And if you write down the torque of spring force, so it would be for first spring and for the second spring. You can see here for both the springs, spring constant is same. Okay, and both are at the same height. The height will not change if I measuring the height from the point of contact. Both are at the same height. So that means the torque would be same for both the spring. So it would be A. What is the distance? A plus R. This is the force, and you just have to write down the torque. So torque is actually about the this is force, and this perpendicular distance is again A plus R. This is A plus R theta. Why I'm writing theta here? Because we know that arc is equal to theta R. Okay, arc is equal to theta R. We know this general formula. So basically what we have done here, that spring force multiply the distance d. D is basically a plus r. Okay, D is basically a plus r. But here we just have to consider this r because the spring is moving in horizontal direction. So the movement of the spring is in the horizontal direction. So this length would be d into theta. So that's why it is a plus r into theta. Are you getting my point? Because the spring is in horizontal direction, it is stretching in the horizontal direction. So that's why we have to consider this length. So this length is nothing but the theta into radius. Radius means what? A plus r. Okay. So this is how we are going to write down the torque of the spring forces. Now we just have to write down the equations. That would be I theta double dot plus k a plus r square theta is equal to 0. I hope you will understand this how we have written the equations, because this is a complicated task to write down the equations. Again, I'm explaining that we assume that the disk is going to be rolled about point C, that means about point of contact with the angle theta, which is a small angle. So if theta is in that direction, that means the disk is going to be rolled in anti-clockwise direction. So the torque of the inertial force would be in against of it. Okay, so it would be I theta double dot, and again spring force and the spring torque would be in opposite to that direction. So you can see here. So that's why, because of there are two springs, one and this is second, so that's why we have to multiply with 2. Again, I'm explaining that since there are two springs in the diagram, so that's why I have to multiply it with 2. Okay, so this is the torque of two springs. Now we just have to rearrange this to a plus r whole square upon I theta is equal to 0. So when you compare these equations with the general equation of vibrations, you can see that this full term is representing omega n square. So if this is omega n square, that means omega n would be under root of 2k a plus r whole square upon I. Now the task is to find out the moment of inertia I. Since we are assuming that the disk is going to be rolled about point C, so that means we have to consider mass moment of inertia about point C. Okay. So if you calculate the mass moment of inertia about point C, here I am writing that this is the moment of inertia, moment of inertia, moment of inertia about point C. Okay. This is the moment of inertia. Now, what would be the value of it? See, this is Ig plus mx square. What is x? Basically, you all know that x would be the distance between the O and C. This would be the x value. Okay, because we are considering moment of inertia about point C, so Ig would be moment of inertia about point O. That would be mr square by 2, because this is a disk, plus what is the value of x? We are considering about point C, so that x would be equal to radius. So that is mr square. So when you solve this, you will get 3 mr square by 2. Now you just have to put this value in the formula, in the equation that you get here, equation number 1. So that is omega n. This type of questions generally asked in the GATE examinations, you can see, and basically it contains 2 marks question. This is not a lengthy question. It seems to be lengthy, but it is not lengthy. Once you able to write down the equations, everything is easy for you. So it would be 3 mr square by 2 means it will go into the numerator, and 2 and 2 will be, it will become 4. Okay, so you just have to rearrange this and you will get a plus r, because it is having square, so it will out of a square root, and this is r, and under root of 4k upon 3n. So this would be the natural frequency of vibrations. The task is that first you have to write down the equation, second you have to calculate the moment of inertia. See, these type of questions generally asked in the gate examination every year. You can see the concept is same. Because in the gate examinations every year question is fixed, 2 mark question is fixed, and generally they ask the questions on these type of natural frequency of vibrations. The thing is that they will give you that figure out, they will give you the figure of the system, and you just have to write down the equations. As you are able to write down the equations, you will be able to find out the natural frequency or whatever is asking in the question. So be careful when you write down the equations. If there are two springs or three springs, don't forget to multiply with the two if there are two springs. So this would be the final answer. I hope you will understand the solution of that question.